You know, a lot of times I feel like the files that I have in my work directory or my personal directory on my computers is a lot like my basement, just filled with boxes that I never open. And in fact, you know, 80% of the files, 85% of the files that we create, we only use once, but yet we hold on to them for decades. So we're going to talk a little bit, just a few minutes, about how to manage those files and be able to find them in a more efficient manner. So let's take a look at this directory, for example, called DCG Lush files. And in here you see lots of different files that we can have. And if you drill down, there's subdirectories within those files, files within those subdirectories as well. So that's kind of the core directory. You could take any directory, and as you see here, there are multiple directories. There's over 7,000 individual files that exist within this DCG Lush files. So there's a handy little tool that I like to use called the Directory List and Print Pro, and it really is a very nice tool for managing and creating HTML-based files, for managing a lot of files. So let's say here you have a directory and you select what the directory is. We're just doing this one for this video, DCG Lush files. And then if I click here, of course, you notice all the subdirectories in there as well. If I go to selection, I have a wide variety of selections that I can make. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they're pretty self-explanatory. Notice here it's exporting. There's 7,211 objects, so files in there. And some of those objects are the directories as well. So there's probably a good 7,000 files in here. I do show subdirectories of files, include the path and the file name, the file types in a separate column, and then row numbering so that I have a way to kind of reference, hey, look at file number 5 or whatever. Then you can select different types of filters based on dates. You can have include and excludes. I didn't do that for this example, but you can. And then your output, you have a very wide variety of output: HTML, Word, Excel, CSV or text, XML files. I'm going to do the HTML one because I think it's the easiest for me to use and manage this directory. When I click on HTML, it's going to automatically create for me this HTML file. And if you notice here, you have the main directory that's sitting here. So let's go ahead and reopen that directory real quick. If you notice here, we have this directory, kind of folded off here. This is the core directory, right, with the recycle bin, archive, blogs, etc. In fact, if we click on archive, we can see that archive file come up, so that's kind of cool. Notice these are directories. Now we go down into actual files, actual file types that are in here. And we can go down and look through all of our files. Now what's cool about this is, look, you get all your little subdirectories in here as well, and it lists out all of those files as well. So all of those 7,000 files are in here. But let's say that I'm looking for something specifically. I know it's in one of these directories, but I can't find it. Let's say master, for example. So I could just type in master, and notice here it highlights everything in yellow that is the master, right? And so I can quickly and easily find the path to where that master is. And what's neat about this is I can also say, okay, it's 20 pages long and it's 32,000 characters. I can get a little more information on this on this document and everything that I'm doing here. So it makes it a lot easier for me to open things and things of that nature. So anyway, sorry I'm a little disconnected here. See here, we're going to do mean time between. So if we wanted to open this file, what's cool about this is now I just click on it, and do I want to save it or open it? I'm going to say open it, and then it's going to actually open up here. It's going to open up Excel for me, and then you can see this is a file that I was working on to do mean time between failure calculations. So that's just a little bit of information. Again, we start with a core directory. This file, by the way, is down at the very bottom of it's in here somewhere. It's actually not in the bottom, but it's an HTML file that I just put in. Here it is right here. Directory list print pro. That's the default. I could name it index if I wanted to, but that's the default file right there. And in fact, I'm going to name it, I'm just going to rename it now to be index. So I'm just going to type in index, and it's just going to rename that file. So I can close this browser and now reopen that file again, and we will see all of the information again that I have here, right? Anything that I want to look at. So that's kind of how you use that. Again, you can use the search function built straight into the browser itself to take a look by doing Control F. I can look for, again, we can look for master or anything that we want. Keep hitting enter, and it just keeps going down the document. So pretty cool stuff.